This show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. A friendly reminder, Mary Jane edibles are not a substitute for actually paying your Lyft driver. Don't forget to tip your bartenders, you filthy fucking animals. And if you've got kinks, we've got links. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, and with me this week is Scolipendra.
Hello.
And Michelle.
Hello.
And yeah, a lot has happened the past couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about all of it. And basically, this show is going to be more of a casual thing. Normally, we'd have like the bigger stuff at the front, and then we'd have some articles in the back. This week, I think, is just going to be just random whatever. I think Josh Hadley at one point on one of his shows called it freeballing, which is like all right, you know, that's a thing we can do, because there is a lot of big shit that happened that we can all talk about, both good and bad. But before we get into that, I want to make sure I get this out of the top of the show. Since we are still living during a pandemic, and you do need to wear your mask out there, and if you need a new one, which you might, should go over to melparadise.etsy.com, get yourself some masks, and hey, there's a promo code. Use the promo code GOMER10, that's GOMER10, and you'll get 10% off your order. Yeah, so get you some masks, and I believe Mel is also having a sale as of this recording, and the code works for those too. So get you some good quality masks for a decent price. I think like for a single mask, it's not over $10 or $12 normally. So with the sale plus the code, you're gonna get a good deal on masks over there. And yeah, I get a little bit of a kickback too, because of course I do. That's how affiliate programs work. That is over at melparadise.etsy.com, or if that URL for whatever reason doesn't work, just look up Mel Paradise on Etsy. You'll if you follow me on social media, you'll be able to see the links and all of that to her store as well. And of course, it's also in the doobly-doo. So just remember the code. But yeah. So speaking of masks, I had to run to the Walmart earlier today because I needed bottled water, and I noticed that, well, number one, they were out of the kind I normally like to get. I like to drink the Dasani water or whatever, but they didn't have that, so I was like, okay, whatever. But more importantly, I would have to say there were maybe 5% of people I walked around and came across were wearing masks, which means 95% of the people at the Walmart in Chipley, Florida were not wearing masks. Because, if I catch the COVID because of you fuckers, then there are at least 3 women from around the country who will come down here and beat your ass.
And one from over the pond.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. And that's just the minimum. I've actually been told by my girlfriend that I am not allowed to catch COVID.
Okay.
Just to reiterate, I'm not one of the ones in a relationship with Gomer, but I would still kick your ass.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's just, god damn, people, wear your fucking masks. And I've had to bring it up with my mother a few times too, because she's having a hard time getting it. It's like, yeah, the mask does not prevent you from getting it, but what it does do is prevent you from potentially spreading it to others. Well, if I don't have it, well, then you don't have it, but still, they don't know that. Mm-hmm. Basically, wearing a mask shows that you give a damn about your fellow human beings.
Also, you could be asymptomatic. You never know.
That is also a thing, too. And I have also mentioned that to her. We may have it, we may not know.
Yep. Also, if it isn't over your nose, you're not wearing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are people like that at the Walmart, too. God damn it. I don't know who the mayor of Chipley, Florida is, but hey, how about you push forth a mask mandate, asshole?
Is that your dad?
No. Different city.
Oh.
I apologize.
I live in Graceville.
Oh, okay.
where my dad is the mayor, and I could next time, when he comes home, I could say, "Hey, why aren't you pushing for a mask mandate?" But I know the excuses he'll throw out, like, but then people won't go to these businesses because of this. It's like, it doesn't matter. People have their needs; they're going to need to go there anyway. Not everybody can afford to go out of town to the Walmart or whatever, or even want to. So, yeah, everybody wears a mask, everybody stays healthy, and the economy is fine. And if you're going to boycott a business, especially in a small town, because they enforce wearing a mask, then fuck you. Stay home.
I'm not sure if I've mentioned this here before, but it's an idea I've had. So if you are but masks, they violate my constitution and my freedoms and all this stuff. Okay. There is one way I will respect you and that stance that you are taking. If you stand pantless, shirtless, no footwear, in front of an establishment that says no shirt, no shoes, no service, and say, well, that's violating my rights. If you stand shoeless, shirtless, outside one of those establishments, yeah, fair play. At least you're being consistent.
Yeah. But, yeah, and also, there is the other thing. When it comes to the masks and the pandemic, you're right to not wear a mask because it's uncomfortable. It does not trump our rights to not have the COVID. It's people like you, in general, the anti-maskers, who have led this country to have over, what is it? We're coming up to over 250,000 deaths from COVID.
Yeah.
When pretty much every other country that's had to deal with it is significantly less. And I'm just talking deaths. I'm not talking like cases, but just deaths. Cases I think are a bit higher, but still. And you're saying the UK has how many?
50,000 last I think hang on, there was an email from the BBC. I'll double check.
Yeah.
The number they gave.
So yeah, 50,000. We'll run with that number. It's a nice even number. Yeah. So that is 1/5 of the and that's the death count, right?
I think so. Just double check. Here we go. Found it.
Okay.
How the UK reached 50,000 COVID deaths. I haven't read the article, but that's the headline.
Okay, so it is deaths. So yes. The UK, a considerably smaller country with fewer, with a lesser population, I would imagine, having fewer deaths than the US, who, if I remember right, we have the fewest per capita of cases, but we have the most deaths. I think I've got that information right. So
I think you've got your it's a per capita or proportionally to your population, you have the highest in the Western world.
So other countries have had it under control. Most of them are going back to, semi-regular lives or what have you already, with the safety precautions all in place. Hi Australia, hi New Zealand. Are you gonna put out another Christmas album that's only audible to dogs this year, New Zealand? Because that's what they did one year. I shit you not. And you know what else? It had been put up on YouTube, and YouTube muted the track.
Wow! Crying out loud!
Wow! It'd probably be the same way they would be like, "Oh, you put up Philip Glass's 4 minutes 22 seconds. Mute." For those who don't know, Philip Glass's 4 minutes 22 seconds, nothing but silence. It's literally a silent track.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's for those who didn't already know. Most of you are like, "Oh no, shit, that's for the newbies." But yeah, so we've been kind of dancing around the big news because over the past couple of weeks we had a presidential election wrap up. In terms of voting and getting votes in, and votes are still being counted in some places, but as it looks now, Biden is going to be the president of the United States come January 20th. And Vice President-elect is Kamala Harris, who is the first woman, first black person, and first Asian American to be elevated to that role. She got a triple there.
Yes.
So like good for her. And I have seen people be like, "Oh, Biden is this, Biden," coming out with all this. "Oh, Biden doesn't have a plan," and Trump let his plan come through. "Oh yeah, what's Trump's plan?" I don't know, but Biden doesn't have a plan. Do you not know this? I mean, he's still, it's called a transition. They got to work on that, and he's putting teams together because, hey, guess what? You can't really do much with the power that you're aiming for until you win. You can have ideas, and we, the people in the United States, and hell, probably even in the rest of the world, somehow can be like, hey, might want to go this way. We can push them in a certain direction, or at least try, depending on your politician. But yeah, so Trump is out, and Trump is behaving predictably like a huge goddamn baby, because of course he does. Oh, and that leads me, and I'm realizing we haven't really talked much about our weeks in a personal way in a bit, but you know what? Let's do that before I get into this thing I found on Facebook. So Scully, how have you been the past couple of weeks?
Oh, I've been pretty alright. Nothing much has happened aside from what's going on in the world, but I've been alright.
Yeah. How about you, Michelle?
Not too bad. The UK went back into a lockdown, which means the restaurant that I sometimes clean at, and I was actually doing cover for this last couple of weeks, so from the from the Monday through to the 14th, I should have been doing cover every day for 3 hours a day, and obviously I can't do that now, but that's, it's fine, the job's still there. It's just once the restaurant work opens up again, I'll get my hours back. So yeah, my week's actually been pretty chill. I did not trouble, but because my office job, there's nobody there at the moment. So my boss is like, you don't have to hang. He said to me a couple of times, I don't see the point in you hanging around if you don't, there's nothing to do. Just make sure you pin in and pin out. Yeah. Which I did. And then he sort of called me over and said, "Hey, Travis, who have you been talking to?" So I'm talking to you. What's this, pinning in for 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes? I said, it's like, yeah, but you kind of actually have to stay there for the whole 2.5 hours. So yeah, that's fun. I'm not in trouble because I did sort of say, well, you did kind of say, he goes, yeah, but going forward you need. So I think someone's noticed and said something to him.
Yeah, sounds like it. So
yeah, basically have to, go to work for 2.5 hours, even though there's not a huge amount to do. And I know it's easy money, but I'd prefer to have something to do. Yeah.
Well, so. that's why you take, portable gaming system. If it's all allowed.
Literally, there'll be nobody else in the building. Nobody will see.
Yeah. I mean, I had a job like that once in my early 20s where I had to work graveyard shift at a convenience store for several nights, and graveyard shift, it's slow. So, of course, there's nothing to do. So I had my Game Boy Advance out, just... And that's how I got really, really good at Metroid Zero Mission. Not like these super speedrunners you could see, but I got decent. Yeah. Decent enough to get all of the endings. So that's always a good thing. And for those who are thinking, wait, you're talking, yes, I am talking the one where you beat the game with only 15% of the items collected. Yeah, that one's a tough one. But yeah, so there's this thing that I found on Facebook. I've seen it shared among family members, by the way. So these are family members who are sharing this, and
this is either really good or really bad.
Oh, it's going to be really bad. I already, I've seen it. That's why I put it in here. So, and before I get into this, and I'll reiterate later, the reason why certain members of my family on Facebook or other people on Facebook I have not outright yeeted because of their support of Trump, is because I want the trash to take itself out. It's as simple as that. I mean, I've had a friend who I've known since high school come out and be like, I'm so afraid of being out as a Trump supporter. It's like, really? I know. You have no idea what it's like to be in the closet. You know, and while I do not have the direct experience, I have talked to and interacted with enough people who have had to be in the closet to have an idea of what it's like. Again, I don't have that direct experience, but, you know, I have this thing called empathy. You know, that's a thing that exists, you know, to where, you know, you could stay in the closet, be safe, or come out and expose yourself to possibly being beaten and left for dead on the side of a fence. So, you know, but yeah, the most we would do if you're a Trump supporter, unless you directly attack us, like physically, is we will shame you. We could very well cut you out. Mm-hmm. And if you try to pull it, well, it's just my political opinion. Bitch, you're simping for a fascist.
Yep.
So, no. A fascist who wants to subjugate everybody who is not like him. A fascist who literally has been running a concentration camp at the goddamn border that sterilizes brown women who dare to come over here while brown. Mm. Yeah, and that's just the tip of the damn iceberg. So
pro-life.
Yeah, pro-life unless it's brown or any other color other than white. But that is the backdrop of what I am about to read off. And funny thing, I put this in my little pre-news notes file, which for a while had like the four the meme topics that we had, and I had them bullet pointed. And so I copy pasted this in, and it bullet pointed everything for me. And I'm like, you know what? Fair play to you, Google Docs. It makes it so much easier. So, all right. So, again, shared by at least one cousin, one aunt, probably others. I don't normally express my opinion on politics much, and the accent is on purpose because they're both Southern. But this was on a friend's page, and I could not agree more. And that clown buffoon is my president, in all caps, with 3 exclamation marks. You know they mean business. Yeah. I am not a Biden fan at all. I mean, I'm not particularly a big Biden fan either, but you know what? He's the better of 2 evils. He is corrupt, a liar, suffering from dementia, and in my opinion, a pedophile. Oh, the reflection that's happening here! The reflection may not be the word, projection. Because Trump is corrupt. Trump is a liar. Trump is most likely suffering from dementia. And this is not opinion, this is actual fact. He's a goddamn pedophile, or at least an ephebophile. And definitely a rapist. So, yeah. And yeah, there is at least one video out there of Biden being a little creepy with a with like a senator or somebody's young daughter or what have you. That's a bit creepy, but he's not out actually raping people. And as far as I know, he hadn't been. And I know
there's an allegation.
Yeah.
Well, an allegation.
Like,
singular.
It's one.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Trump has what, 20?
Yeah.
So it's kind of bad that it comes down to, okay, how many sex assault allegations does one have over the other? Lower one wins. That's pretty scary. But you know what? Biden has also had more experience. He's also been in the game longer. And if we're going to go with stuff that's more recent, that is positive, if I remember right, he was the one who kind of pushed Obama into embracing same-sex marriage during an election season. If I remember right. So, yeah. Does Biden have issues? Yes, he does. But you know what? He, at the very least, can probably still grow and learn from them, even at his advanced age.
Yep.
Trump thinks he's perfect already. So, let's see. He has done nothing to improve anything in the 48 years in politics. Would you like to show me proof of that? Because, I know there was the, what's her name back in the 90s. That was not a good thing. And I'm sorry I forgot her name right off the top of my head. But there's that. But that was also the 90s. This is the 2020s. And people can change between now and then. I don't have his track record right up in front of me, but I'm willing to bet that it is generally an overall good in comparison to Trump. Bear in mind, in comparison to Trump.
Also, generally speaking, and I think this goes for both of our politicians, like, an individual cannot make the difference. They can put forward motions and bills and such, and like gather some friends and say, "Hey, what do you think of this idea? Should we put it forward together?" But as an individual, your powers are only as strong as everyone around you.
Yeah, and if you're talking about just Democrats in general, nothing to improve anything in 47, 48 years, whatever. If there's anything that he has tried to help improve things for the common person, whether he was in Congress or whether as vice president or what have you, then there was a lot of it that was blocked by Republicans because money and power over everything else.
Yeah.
These are the same people who think that, working 3 jobs just to make 1 month's worth of rent is somehow strong. And I don't think I'm hyperbolizing very much, if at all.
From what I know.
So, all right, we got more. I truly believe Biden is just a stepping stone for Kamala Harris to take over the White House. Nancy Pelosi is already trying to put a 25th Amendment in place to remove an unfit president. I don't believe that has a thing to do with Trump having COVID. I think that's to remove Biden if elected for dementia and Harris to take over. Okay, number 1, where's your proof? I would like to know where you got this information. And especially if Pelosi was already trying to put a 25th Amendment in place to remove Biden come January. Again, show your work. Like, and even let's be generous for a moment. Let's say that all of this is actually happening, that it's going to be a stepping stone for Harris to get to the White House. So what? As far as I know, she's got a better track record than Biden. There have been a few times where her hands were tied due to the position she was in, but she has overall been good, as far as I know. So, and again, that's an overall thing. There are individual problematic points that each candidate and vice president does have. So, but, just overall, we're getting an upgrade.
Also, I've watched a couple of videos specifically about the 25th Amendment, and as far as I understand it, it's not one and done. There is a process and there is a time limit. You can't just say, "Oh, well, this person's out, so this person's now in." No, you've got to prove things. And you've got to have a team of people that agree with you, and it's like, it's not just like, "Well, yeah, no, he's unfit, so bye."
Yeah,
it's the whole thing.
Yeah, because you got to make sure everything is done right and by the books.
Yeah.
Because if we rush it too much, then you might have some asshole like Trump who will take advantage of that and, oh wait, you're unfit, so whoop, you're out. Basically, bad faith actors would use that to do evil and heinous things.
Just a tip, guys. Just as a general thing, when the person from another country has a greater understanding of one of your amendments, even if it's just from watching YouTube videos, you might want to catch up.
Yeah. Just a little bit. So to continue on, this is my opinion, so don't bother to bash it. I haven't bashed yours. Well, see, here's the thing. My opinion is that everybody should be able to have a place to live, have food to eat, be able to live in peace and safety, and not have to worry about going bankrupt if they need to go to the hospital for any reason. That's my whole thing there. Your opinion is that you either outright believe that Trump is the... People are throwing around God Emperor Trump, and it's like, no, you're not enough of a sandworm. All right, just don't. I will pull out all the Dune references on your ass. But, people calling him God Emperor Trump.
I'll go Monty Python your ass. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Exactly. But yeah, so your opinion is this guy's good because I, whatever your other reasons are, when really you should be looking at the things he's done and look at it and be like, no. Because again, concentration camps, that should be enough. That should be enough. Among everything else he has done, that should be enough. Mm-hmm. The clown in the White House just brokered 2 Middle East peace accords, something that 71 years of political intervention and endless war failed to produce. Really? Did he really? And at what cost? Because it's not enough to just have peace without, somebody else not getting fucked over. If you're talking Israel still trying to genocide the fuck out of Palestinians, if I've got that right, then that's not peace. That's allowing Israel to genocide Palestinians. Oh, he's anti-Semitic. No, anti-Semitism would be basically bashing, let's say, Sarah Silverman for being Jewish. That would be anti-Semitism. Bashing a country for genociding another or just a group of people, that's not anti-Semitism. Know the difference.
Also, I know I know a few Jewish people, but one in particular I discussed it with, Zionism specifically. And yeah, she doesn't agree with Zionism. She's like, no, this is not good stuff. We need better solutions, more long-term solutions. Of the people that I've spoken to about it, they don't agree with the killing of the Palestinians either.
Yeah.
Jewish or Gentile.
Yeah, it's just, goddamn. Let's see. The buffoon in the White House is the first president that has not engaged us in a foreign war since Eisenhower. Wars were still going on. They were still going on when Obama was in there. And the last foreign war that we got engaged in, that wasn't already engaged in, wasn't that done by Bush? So yeah, because as far as I know, Obama just inherited it, just the same as Trump did.
Yeah.
The clown in the White House has had the greatest impact on the economy, bringing jobs and lowering unemployment to the black and Latino population of any other president ever. Really? He came in with a relative surplus. And you want to say impact on the economy. Well, if you want to call it depression or recession or whatever the word is supposed to be, basically the economy going poof. And the economy is not just the stock market, by the way. Because guess what? If we here at the bottom can't spend money on your useless shit, you ain't getting paid either. So you pay us, we'll pay you back. That's the circle of economy. To quote Bill Clinton, it's the economy, stupid. And for the record, I'm not a big fan of Bill Clinton either because of things that he has done. But and I'm talking, Paula Jones, Monica Lewinsky type stuff. That's what I have a problem with. But when you're right, you're right. Bringing jobs, lowering unemployment, right? That's what. How many plants shut down? That just made it to the news, and that's not counting COVID, where things have had to shut down because of COVID. And lowering unemployment, lowering unemployment to what degree? Bringing jobs, right? Bringing jobs to who? China? Japan? Russia? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the shit that you're claiming is stuff that he said, and he's a goddamn liar. Oh no. The buffoon in the White House has exposed the deep, widespread, and long-standing corruption in the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and the Republican and Democratic parties. It's not so much needed. Yeah, and it's not so much him exposing it as it is they got, a lot of these people were emboldened by him. And by these people, I mean the goddamn white supremacists. Mm-hmm. Especially the Republicans. The buffoon in the White House turned NATO around and had them start paying their dues. No, the buffoon in the White House whined because we have to pay more even though we can afford more. Because the dude thinks that all the money that he gets, ill-gotten or otherwise, he should be able to keep and not have to give to anybody else. No.
My mom says I'm cool.
Well, your mom's a bitch, so... Oh, I would say it's not fair to his mom, but not only is she dead, she was part of the reason Trump is the way he is, so fuck her.
Yeah.
Clown in the White House neutralized the North Koreans, stopped them from developing a further nuclear capacity, sending missiles toward Japan and threatening the west coast of the U.S. Have they really been stopped? Have they really? I mean, we don't hear much about them in the news unless Trump needs a distraction. And bear in mind, this is the same Trump who almost caused World War III with North Korea. So, no, you don't get credit for supposedly neutralizing the North Koreans. Because they're still in their bad shit over there, too, as far as I know. And it's caused by their leaders, not the individuals that are suffering under it. Clown in the White House turned our relationship with the Chinese around, brought hundreds of businesses back to the U.S., and revived the economy. Hello! Revived the economy for who? That's what you need to answer. Revive it for who? Who benefits most from this economy? If it is those that make the most money in this country, that's not going to work. Again, they have to give us money to do their jobs, and then we can give money back to them. If it's Walmart, for example, Walmart pays their workers, and by the way, as of this election, the minimum wage in Florida is $15 an hour, and I believe that is in our Constitution. So good luck getting rid of that, you Republican bastards. So they you get that $15 an hour. Walmart is convenient. You could buy your food there, so Walmart gets a little bit of that money back, and thus it keeps going. Again, it's the economy, stupid. Turn the relationship with the Chinese around. Yeah, by antagonizing them and starting a trade war that fucked everybody else up. Hello! The clown in the White House has accomplished appointing of 3 Supreme Court justices, close to 300 federal judges. Yeah, two of which were ramrodded through thanks to Mitch McConnell not playing fair. Because when what's his name? The guy before Merrick Garland. Anyway, that asshole, whatever his name is. During Obama's last year, 2016, dude died. Obama's like, all right, here's Merrick Garland, and Mitch McConnell's like, well, we shouldn't do that during an election year. And Obama, instead of having a spine and, playing hardball with him, said, all right. And so that's how we got fucking Neil Gorsuch. And don't get me started on Brett Kavanaugh. He is, at the very least, an attempted rapist fuck. If not outright rapist. He is at the very least a rape apologist. At the very least. And a whiny little piss baby. No wonder Trump likes him. And this most recent one, Mitch, of course, went back on his own rules and ramrodded Judge Amy Coney Barrett through, a woman who is so backwards. You would expect her to be walking around wearing those like the fucking robes from the goddamn Handmaid's Tale. So yeah, no. That those are accomplishments by underhanded cheating tactics. At the very least, 2/3 of them. So no, that is not good. And these are people who are determined to take the country backwards. This same clown in the White House lowered your taxes, increased the standard deduction on your IRS return from $12,500 for married filing joint to $24,400, and it caused your stock market to move to record levels over 100 times. Well, I mean, It's just, I'm not even going about the stock market because that's not the important part. Positively impacting the retirements of tens of millions of citizens. Really. And that's married filing joint, by the way. That doesn't say anything about the single people.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say anything about people who, for whatever reason, are not married. Maybe live alone. Are they supposed to just fuck off? And let me tell you another little thing. That tax plan that was passed, I think it was like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be so great or whatever. Well, come January 2021, all of those tax breaks or whatever that we were supposed to get are going away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to increase taxes on us, as in the lower 99%. So, yeah, go fuck off with that. The clown in the White House fast-tracked the development of a COVID vaccine, be available within weeks. Still don't have a vaccine for SARS, bird flu, Ebola, or a host of diseases that arose during the previous administrations. First of all,
Doing it now.
yeah. First of all, citation needed on whether or not we have those vaccines. And second of all, if we don't, maybe it's because we don't really need them because we took care of them by actually doing what we were supposed to do, and the diseases ran their course with minimal loss of human life. And maybe we do have vaccines. I don't know.
And again,
But
excuse me, speaking as someone from another country, the reason the vaccine got fast-tracked is because every fucking country was working on it. And with mass communication, they were able to share all their research. Also, we actually, and again, YouTube can be useful. The reason we were able to get a running start on is because we already had the research from the original SARS virus. Which I can't remember if it was bird or swine flu, but the SARS we had before.
Yeah.
We built on that research.
yeah,
So it wasn't, with absolute credit to the American scientists and pharmaceuticals that did, all their work and research, credit where it's due. But it wasn't just them. And they know that. The scientists know that.
yeah. Trump and even Pence are trying to take credit because as of this podcast, there's like Zypher or whatever the fuck that one is are saying, hey, we might have this thing ready within however long. And Pence is like, yeah, we gave them the money. And they're like, no, fuck you. You didn't do shit with us. So, yeah, they're just trying to take credit for it. The clown in the White House rebuilt our military, which the Obama administration had crippled and fired 214 key generals and admirals in his first year of office. First of all, citation needed. And second, our military was never needed to be rebuilt.
Have your toast first, will ya?
Like we do not need to rebuild our military. Our military is fine. The military can use a little less money in just overall. By the way, pay your soldiers better. If you're going to have soldiers, pay them better. Because you're sending them out to die for your fucking blood oil. You can, at the very least, pay them a king's ransom each. At the very least. Because you're asking for them to die for capitalism. Anyway, this clown in the White House uncovered widespread pedophilia in the government and in Hollywood and is exposing the worldwide... Wow!
QAnon bullshit. Okay.
Hey. You know who's good friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who clearly did not kill himself? Donald J. Trump. And in fairness, Bill Clinton as well. But Donald J. Trump is who we're talking about. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and I firmly believe, this is one of the few conspiracies I will hold on to, that he had him killed in prison.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the pedophile in chief, really, really sorted out all the pedophilia and corruption in the government. Yeah, way to go, Donnie.
Yeah. The clown in the White House works for free and has lost well over $2 billion of his own money in serving, and done all of this and much more in the face of relentless undermining and opposition from people who are threatened because they know they're going to be exposed as the criminals they are if he is reelected. He golfs at his own golf courses, which our taxpayer money pays for. He is making bank off of the taxpayer. So no, he does not work for free, if he works at all. He spent more time at his golf courses and bitching on Twitter than doing actual work, and we pay for it all. And unlike other presidents before him, he did not detach himself from his businesses. So all that money is going to his pocket. So, oh, he works for free. Bitch, no, he doesn't. I got it. You don't like him. Many of you utterly hate and despise him. How special of you. He's serving you and all the American people. Right, except for California for the times it was on fire. In fact, it's probably still on fire. But what is Trump doing? He ain't doing shit. California would like a word with you. God damn, I wish I'd been able to rope Rosen in here. Because, oh my God, he would have words. I know he would.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Hasn't he defunded their local FEMA office or whoever it is that deals with all that stuff? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. It would not surprise me.
Is FEMA like a whole thing, or does it have local offices, or a bit of both?
I think FEMA is supposed to be national, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But just, oh. And what are you doing besides calling him names and laughing about him catching the China virus? First of all, it is the coronavirus. You calling it the China virus makes you look like a goddamn racist. That's why we don't call it the China virus. And yeah, we're laughing at him catching COVID because fuck him. He is a fascist, dictating piece of shit. We are sad he did not die. I will say it. Fuck him. I wish it had killed him. But you know what? I will take him losing the election and going to prison for his crimes. Mm-hmm. If that's all I can get. That's fine. And please educate me again as to what Biden has accomplished for America in his 47 years in office. Google. I'm not even going to dignify that. Just Google. I'll take a clown any day versus a fork-tongued, smooth-talking, hypocritical, corrupt liar. You already do. His name is Donald Trump. Please let it be known, I am not sure I would want to have a beer with him if he drank, which he doesn't, or even be his friend. I don't care if I even like him. I want a strong leader who isn't afraid to kick some ass when needed. I don't need a fatherly figure. I already have one. I don't need a liar. That's what Hollywood and CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, and the New York Times are for. I don't need someone to help me, but I also don't want an obstacle or a demented, senile, washed-up swamp monster. God bless Donald Trump, the most unappreciated president in history. Wow!
Wow.
Projection, holy shit! Wow!
Gomer,
Yes.
before you carry on your rant, is this person related to you by blood or just by marriage?
Blood.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And it's at least in double. Because I've seen it on two. Yeah. It's like, wow. Like, are you... It's like we don't care whether or not Trump drinks. Of course Trump doesn't drink. He does coke. We know this. He's a cokehead. Most likely. And it's not a case of whether or not you like him. This is not about whether or not we like Trump. It's not that kind of a case. It is a moral case. It's not a political case. Again, the concentration camps and the sterilization of immigrants that are being held prisoner there for daring to come to America while brown should be enough. It really should be. But you add to that all of the white supremacists that have been emboldened because of him. The people who are scared. The people who have been assaulted and murdered by cops, by white supremacists. Everybody who thinks that they should run the country because they are fucking white. And Trump is their God Emperor. I hate using that term for him because he is not a half sandworm. And yeah, you know, in the Dune novels, Leto II, yeah, he is known as the greatest tyrant in history. But at the very least, he was doing it for the betterment of all mankind in the long run, and he had the lifespan to do that, Trump is doing it because that's how he gets hard. Trump is doing it just to make himself happy. He doesn't care about you. He will throw you under the bus. In fact, he has thrown his own supporters under the bus. He left supporters out in the freezing goddamn cold without a way to get back to their hotels after a rally, which turned into super spreader effect events because of the goddamn COVID.
Yeah.
So, fuck Donald Trump. I am glad he lost. Take it, eat it. I don't give a shit. He lost. Deal with it. And if don't come crying to me, oh, but you're supposed to be better. No, we're not. We do not play the you go low, we go high thing. You go low, we will step on your face.
Yep.
Whew. I have overpowered that one. Holy shit. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
I've already chipped in a couple of times, so yeah, I was going to say Scully.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah. Trumper's gonna Trump. Unfortunately. Yep.
At this point, I would just like to remind everyone that in England, Trump is also a slang for fart.
Well. Yep.
Oh, wow. Just holy shit. So with that bit, we'll go ahead and take our quick break, have our ads and all the stuff in between.
I just want to interject very quickly, because it seems like an appropriate moment to do that.
Oh yes,
and especially with with what your family member has, all that stuff, and other people retweeting and complaining about the things, and like the count legal vote only, or stop the count, and like fraud here and fraud there, and take a deep breath. Especially, this is only really works if you're in a real space with someone, but take a deep breath, put your arms out in front of you, palm up, and when they ask, what is it you're doing? What are you doing? Say, I am waiting for the big pile of evidence you obviously have in order to keep saying these things. And then just watch their faces.
Yeah. Just, yeah. And also,
because they got shit!
Yes.
And also, one other thing I do want to address real quick before we go to break, because the $15 an hour thing has happened here in Florida. Your Happy Meals aren't going to go to $8 an hour. And if somebody tries to tell you that it is, they're fucking lying, and they're trying to scaremonger you.
I think
don't believe
it's Sweden or one of the Nordic countries that have really super high minimum wage. And I think they said that the Happy Meals and like the Big Mac was like maybe 20p more, or the equivalent thereof. Yeah.
So it'll go up, but oh no, a whole 20 cents. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna take our 20 cents and we'll go to our break, and when we get back, we'll talk about something else. We'll see you then. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to this little segment of the show that I just take for myself to talk about different things. It's been a couple of weeks since the last one, and sometimes it's what happens, sometimes it's not. But yeah, I think I mentioned it in the front of the show too, and I'll make sure I do. But yeah, we're gonna retool it, go through a few changes, especially since the evil is defeated, mostly. We just gotta put up with the thrashings. That's going to demolish a good part of hell, to use a comparison from the end of Doom 2. Put that in your feather cap. But so I want to try and do a few different things. I've asked a few times over the years. I would love to have like just little segments for people to do, like send in, do like little 5-minute segments or whatever. That'll give the show a little bit more variety, and also maybe get you guys doing something else if you want something out there. And it could be like little review segments. You can even do an ad, because hell, we run the channel KRT ad, and we do that for free. You don't, and for this year, you don't even have to pay. It's like, hey, you know what? We'll do it for you. Boom. I mean, within reason, of course. You can't be like, here, let me do this 3-minute ad on how to use a poke generator. program, which there actually is one running on YouTube at the time of this recording. That's just okay. Wow. Just advertise your product. We don't need to know how to use it. Excuse me. But yeah, so things will be a-changing. I am opening for like segments and all of that. You know, just 5-minute segments, or at least try to keep it 5 minutes. I know I sometimes have trouble doing it. You all have heard this. It could be pretty much anything you want, and again, all within reason. Like, if you send me a segment that talks about eugenics and how one race should be superior over the other, I'm not only not going to play that, I will probably yeet you out. So that's just a thing that you should not do. But yeah, I think that's just about it. This episode has been like super casual, except for like that one thing I put in there. But yeah, so if you guys want to send in like little 5-minute segments, whatever. It could be about whatever topic you want, within reason. Again, I know I'm repeating myself a few times, but hey, it'll give the show a little bit of variety. Help us be like, okay, we've got this much we still have to put in there. We need to keep it under a certain time. And I know a lot of that has to fall on me because I'm the one who's producing and hosting the show. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get the show in a little bit of a shorter time, make it a little bit more digestible for everybody. Because some people can do 2-hour shows and be okay. I'm finding that we're not okay. But yeah, and I think that's about it. Enjoy the rest of the show, and we'll see you next time. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX.
And now, an important message from Tyler Green, Kitty Quinn, and Randy Martin.
Are you tired of asking yourself if that obscure show or movie you watched once was a fever dream?
Is it still in your brain to this day as a 3 a.m. channel-changing hallucination? Well, join us as we yank that said memory out of your subconscious while we do a deep dive on it on Channel KRT.
Channel KRT is a new bi-weekly podcast where we look at the best and worst of obscure media. We'll be covering such topics as
The Puzzle Place,
Clown TV,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show,
Reanimated,
The Weird Al Show,
We Sing,
and more. Join us every other week over at Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be heard. Channel KRT, cut to static.
And we are back from our break. And I did not realize that whole thing was going to go as long as it did. Oh, just goddamn. So, speaking of other people that have been, at least on the social media things lately, Michelle, you probably have seen this in the T-Zone and Rosen's Discord server. Jeffrey Toobin. It's going Toobin. Surfing subterranean. Oh God, how many people get that reference? If you get that reference right into the show, I'll give you a cookie. But no, this is the guy that was fired by the New Yorker.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he was caught on camera on a Zoom file beating the meat.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's like, I understand it's a fun thing to do, but you might not want to do it while you are on the phone in a professional capacity or on a Zoom call in a professional capacity. Just don't do that. You know, there's only one.
Yeah. I was gonna say, unless your professional capacity is doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
The only reason, if you're on a Zoom call, the only reason your hands should be anywhere near your junk is if you have to adjust yourself, because that happens. You know, men, women, we all have to adjust ourselves. That's fine. You know, You're not trying to pleasure yourself. You're not trying to skeeve people out. It's just, hey, I just don't want to Belvedere myself. Thank you very much. So yeah. And I do love Becky's response. I guess you're boned, huh?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's just, damn. And apparently, he was also a bit of a creeper, too. Like beyond that.
Surprised.
Yeah. It's just, dude, just do not be a creeper. If you, it's like this. If you did it once and you didn't realize it and it was pointed out to you and you corrected from that would be one thing, you know. But if you double down on it and if you do it again after you already know the circumstances that led to that first verbal smackdown, then fuck you. You know?
Also, if you're going to double down, use lube.
Yes, please. Just, goddamn, dude. Just, no. Fucking hell. Oh, and, oh God, this is one thing that Eli had also posted within the last day from Twitter. Eli, the cartoon hero, for those who don't know. Hi, Eli. We need to have you on the show sometime.
Yes,
he has expressed. Yeah, he has expressed interest. I've just been, when it comes to getting people on the show, I've been kind of gun shy about it. Just no, it's not because of anybody. It's just I've just been gun shy. You know. Yeah. All the guests we've had on have been great. Just I'm a bit of a coward. But he shared this article. Research suggests that the less a man sleeps, the more masculine he is perceived to be. Bullshit!
Did you enjoy my response?
Oh, let me. You know what? I'll let you read your response to that one.
It was basically on the lines of, so does that mean that 64-hour week I pulled makes me the manliest person here?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Becky's response was, in those 72 hours straight I spent awake in art school turned me into a dude. Yeah. I did not know that about myself.
But insomniacs are the most manly motherfuckers on this planet.
Right. So, oh wow. Shit, that means my friend Shoni is definitely one of the manliest people out there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because as far as as long as I've known, right? Because as long as I've known her, she's had really bad cases of insomnia. So I was like, yeah. But yeah, just no. No. The less a man sleeps, the more irritable he is. My source, me, because I'm a man.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I've had to go without several, with like very little sleep, both on and off the road. I do not recommend it if you're on the road, by the way. That is a safety thing. But I've had to a couple of times, and it's just not good. Not good at all. You're irritable. You're cranky. You want to masticate a small child. It's just it's not good.
Masticate as in chew, in case people didn't hear him properly.
Yeah. It's just it doesn't. It just doesn't work that way. So I've been pulling things out. Scully, since we've basically been overpowering you, basically the past few episodes, and I apologize for that.
That's fine.
But this is just basically a free balling thing. Do you have something you want to talk about or share or what have you? Or
let's see. Yeah, let's just pull up the old fucking Twitter.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's some pretty good. Oh god, this is from Louisville. Oh god.
oh no, what did Louisville do?
Absolute bombshell of a report from the Career Journal. LMPD hid almost 750,000 records documenting the sexual abuse of minors by police officers and then lied to keep the files from the public.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. Oh my fucking god.
Ew.
Yeah.
God damn it, Louisville.
No wonder I don't trust cops.
Yeah. And they have the gall to say that their killing of Breonna Taylor was justified. And they also have the gall to put a goddamn toll on the goddamn bridge going into Indiana. On the interstate, rather. Because there are several bridges. They have the goddamn gall to do that. Fuck you. That's why whenever I have to go through Louisville, I take the long way.
Yep.
Well, if I'm in a car. I'm in a truck and the company's paying for it. Fuck them. The company can pay for it.
Yep.
Just goddamn. Oh. But yeah, speaking of people on Twitter, one of my friends had found this tweet from this dude. I'm assuming dude. The Twitter handle is Life Math Money. That's already a good sign. And they supposedly have unpopular, unapologetic truths. And their bio reads, get rich, get fit, get smarter. Learn what the schools won't teach you. 90-day discipline with a gum.co thing and a Twitter guide. This sounds so much. Are you a Hunbot?
Yeah, kind of sounds like that.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, Hunbot is basically somebody who is trying to work within an MLM, a multi-level marketing scheme, pyramid scheme, basically, and characterized by the "Hun, you're just gonna love this, Hun." So, Hunbot. So this guy wrote a whole thread out. Well, okay, by thread I mean like 3 or 4 things, but it has an impact. They wrote out, people who hate their parents. If you were homeless and starving, who could you call and know you wouldn't be turned down food and shelter? If you break all your limbs, who'd take care of your dumb, ungrateful ass? Who's the one who'd give you a kidney? Yeah, so shut up. First of all, people hate their parents for a myriad of reasons. I am annoyed with my parents a lot of the times. And there are a lot of times where I am at odds with my parents. I don't outright hate them. Because they're not worthy of hatred, for any bitching I may or may not do on show, off show about my parents, I don't hate them. But yeah, if you're homeless and starving, could you call? Yeah, I am in a position and I'm lucky to have parents. I could say, hey, I need a place to go and I can go here. There's other baggage that comes with it that makes things a lot more irritable to be here, so it is not my preferred place to go. But I realize I have that option, and I am grateful for that option, because the alternative is being on the street freezing in Indiana. Because that was the last place I was living before I had to come back down here. So, if you break all your limbs, who'd take care of your dumb, ungrateful ass? Well, I mean, my parents, as great as what they do here, and it's not to say that they don't do some sort of sacrifice or anything, it also comes across as the bare minimum. But I don't know how ungrateful that makes me sound, but a lot of times, like, I had to go to the doctor recently, like, past couple of months, because I had an ear infection. They didn't pay for a dime. I got to use the vehicle to go over and take care of it, but they didn't pay for it. Hell, there have been times where I've said, hey, maybe I should go see a psychiatrist, and I need help to get that. But no, they can't pay for it. And it's not like they can't, it's usually they won't. So So that's where my brain comes in with the, the housing and food bare minimum thing. That's where that comes into play. So that being said, I don't hate them, annoyed, but there are people out there who do legitimately hate their parents because they're abusive pieces of shit. And there are people who they can't go to their parents because maybe they're getting away from them because they were abusive, or maybe their parents are so poor and they're living in spaces so small they can't afford or to give up the space or the extra mouth to feed. So not everybody has parents in the same position that I do. Not everybody has that. So, And I'm only going to read one other one from this thread because there's a few other ones, and it's mostly of this thing. To the cartoon people calling me privileged, I'm superior to you cartoon people in every way, and that right there, and that right there,
you lose.
Yeah, straight young man pursuing my vision as God intended. Privilege, maybe. Does that mean you can't fix your mental problems? No. So stop making excuses and turn the cartoons off. Fuck you. You can work on your mental problems and enjoy cartoons. Piss off. Mm-hmm. You don't get, unless my coping mechanisms are hurting other people, you don't get to tell me to do away with my coping mechanisms. You just don't. Because they don't hurt anybody. If, at the very least, it may inconvenience somebody. Like, if you're busy watching a cartoon and somebody needs your help with something and it takes you a few minutes, that's an inconvenience. But that doesn't mean you throw out the baby with the bathwater. That just means, hey, maybe work it out with the other person. And, that sort of thing there. So it's just no. And that's the only ones I'm going to read from that thread. I think I did my own response to it on Twitter as well, if you want to follow it on there. But just, God fucking damn, that asshole. That fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I just see something on Twitter that made me smile. It's been retweeted by Will in the Gate, so it's not an account I follow. Here's the headline. Judge dismisses Trump's campaign libel lawsuit against CNN after court finds no malice. The person who tweeted it, or the account that tweeted it, Fox News.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Even Fox News is bailing on his ass. When you've got your own propaganda arm bailing on you, holy shit. Just wow.
I mean, we all know the real reason that they are. It's because, it's not profitable for them to do that. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still made me smile.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah, and you know what? I was reminded of something else. Other good things that have happened with this election. Mm-hmm. Marijuana legalization in different places, including Mississippi.
Wow.
Dang.
That is not expected, but you know what? As soon as it is legally available over there, and I have the money to go get it, Gulfport is maybe a 5-6 hour drive one way. No, more like 4 or 5. I'm trying to do everything else because still got to go through Pensacola and Mobile. Mobile traffic can be shit. But anyway, Gulfport, not that far away in comparison. And yeah, that's a lot closer to go for the fucking, weed tarts than Illinois. I mean, even just the tip of Illinois is like 10 hours, maybe 11 hours. And that's one way. So, to get to where I like to go, to get to where I went back in February when I first got them, that's 14-hour drive from here to Joliet. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have something a little bit closer. Might have to make it an overnighter, which I don't mind. I mean, stay over there and don't have to sit in the truck stop, so that's good.
Yes.
Oh.
So let's have a bit of fun.
Yes.
I think you've seen this, Scully. You won't have. So there's a hotline, and when it comes to the hotline, unless it's an answer machine, I wouldn't hassle people because they are still real people. But basically, it's a fraud hotline. But there's also an online form. So I had fun with it. I had fun with the online form. So it's a fairly standard form. Please provide as much information as possible. Your name, William. Middle name's Freshel. Last name, Prince. Your phone, 215-259-1968. Address, 1990 N 66th Street. Address 2, West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
19103. Your email, diceinthemirror@live.com.
Oh, God.
State of incident, Pennsylvania. County of incident, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Name of polling place or early voting site. The playground, where I spent most of my days. Description of incident. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing at all cool while waiting patiently in line. And shooting some b-ball outside of the school. NBA game app. It's fun. When a couple of guys were up to no good, started making trouble in the neighbourhood. I stayed in line to cast my legal vote, but my mom got scared.
Oh, God.
That is awesome.
And
Perfect.
just a couple of little things, because I actually did homework for that. Yes, obviously, William Prince is a reference to Will Smith. The 215 area is a Pennsylvania area code, actually from West Philly. The 25/9/1968 is Will Smith's birthday. And N66th Street is a street in West Philly. 1990 is the year Fresh Prince aired.
Damn.
Right.
And I looked up an actual zip code as well, so...
Damn, that is dedication.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I think...
Yes.
Yes, I did submit it.
Sweet!
Nice.
Becky also did one. I don't remember if she submitted it online or if she did the voice number. But we had recently watched one of the old Loop on the Third specials. And so that was fresh on her brain. So she submitted, I noticed this guy in a red jacket, maybe a green jacket, making off with him along with some dude in a hat, a guy with a sword, and a very voluptuous woman making off with the ballots. You might want to forward this to Interpol in care of Inspector Koichi Zenigata.
I know the whole bunch of people doing Hamburglar as well.
Yeah, just... Oh, that is awesome. One more. I guess we'll look at one more thing and then we'll get out of here. This is something that just recently came across my timeline. That was it came up on my friend Juliet Bennett Ryla's stream. She's a journalist out in California, a longtime friend of mine. She is good people. And she quote tweeted from Mara Wilson, who quote tweeted from this Moses Storm comedian dude, who has a screen cap of a headline from NBC Los Angeles. The headline reads, "McMansions for the homeless. Some LA tents are so big they have showers, AC, and even tiki bars. Many tents now have running water because they've illegally tapped into city fire hydrants for a water source." And I like Moses' reaction to this. It's almost like poor people are capable. Because see, here's the thing. The city of Los Angeles, do not provide a home for the homeless like you should, then they will take whatever means necessary to survive, whether it is legal or not.
Exactly.
So it is better and easier for you to go ahead, provide them a home, an actual proper home, no strings attached. I see what you're doing there, you goddamn fundamentalist Christians. No strings attached. You don't have to accept a religion or anything like that. Scot-free, you live there, you have an address so you can try and get a job, or a quote-unquote proper job, because we know what they mean when they say jobs. They want you to be the cog in the McDonald's or Walmart machines, by and large. And, they have a little bit of stability. They can worry about spending money on food instead of worrying about rent or whether or not they're going to be assaulted off the street every night. So, hey. And yeah, they have a tiki bar. Oh no, they're trying to ease the pain of life. Oh no, how dare you? How dare you not suffer like we think you should? Oh no, piss off. It's just, but to those people with the means and the necessary stuff to do all of this, with these quote unquote homeless McMansions, which, that fucking headline. And by the way, I agree with my friend Juliet, who, when she quote tweeted, she said, "This country, I hate it." Agreed. But that's why we stay and fight to fix it. Because there are people who say, well, if you don't like it, you can leave. No, we're going to stay and fight to fix the damn thing. So, and if you don't like it, you could leave, or you could just deal. And that also assumes that we are capable of leaving, financially speaking. And of course, goddamn COVID. But yeah, so with that, we're going to get out of here. Oh, before we get out of here.
We can, but I have a thing I downloaded that I think is worth sharing.
Okay.
Well, actually, I have a couple of things. One, the article's quite old, so I can't read it, but this headline: Duck eats yeast, quacks, explodes, man loses eye.
Oh, God.
Wow!
I will post the thingy into the green room, but you'll see that it's actually quite hard to make out and read.
Yeah.
But we can think. But this is what I want to share with you, because I thought it was quite sweet. The top 10 things Trump supporters have said to me that I will now deeply enjoy reminding them. 10. America, love it or leave it. 9. Elections have consequences. 8. Shh, the grown-ups are talking now. 7. Show respect for the new president. 6. Your side lost, deal with it.
Yes.
5. This is God's plan. 4. Triggered much, Snowflake? 3. The American people have spoken. 2. You're just mad your side lost. And my personal favourite, number 1, fuck your feelings.
Yes!
Oh, God. Yeah, I was fucking... Oh, God. I've been watching kind of... Oh, God. Alright, you know how a lot of people have been saying, oh yeah, you're just suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Well, guess what I've seen a fuck ton of?
Oh,
Good old Biden derangement syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, you got even people like Kenneth Copeland, who is like, Biden won. Ha 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 ha. And laughing as though he doesn't believe it and he thinks it's all a hoax.
Oh.
Because he's Kenneth Copeland. He's a piece of shit.
Crazy piece of
I don't know who that dude is, but okay.
Yeah, he's one of those televangelists.
No wonder I haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
If you want to look into him without actually looking at him, Telltale has done quite a few videos on him, so you can sort of get it filtered, get a bit of background without having to look at him too much.
Yeah. We should get him on here sometime. He'd be cool.
That would be amazing if you could get Owen on here. That would be so fucking cool.
It would be. You'd be close to having a McElroy on here. They're all from the same area. Well, the same state, as far as I know. And I say from. I don't know if Owen is originally from West Virginia, but where he is now. So, but yeah. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this little slightly different thing. We didn't have any preset news articles or anything. It was just going on about different things that we see on social media, what have you. Kind of more casual, freeballing it a bit. So Scully, if we wanted to find you on the social media, where could we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Scolipendra, and on Tumblr at Scolipendra91.
All right. And Michelle, where could we find you?
I have a link tree at linktr.ee / Phoenix 11 PHEONIN and Phoenix 11 PHEONIX 11.
Yeah.
Because I know my own address.
And of course, all of these are in the doobly-doo as well. But if you want to find me on the social medias, you can look up under my link tree, linktr.ee / Gomer21XX. And of course, links to that. And of course, there's also the official YouTube channel for the show. Go subscribe there if you want, get the algorithms looking in on that too. I do also want to point out, I know I have like the little ad in the middle, but also, the Patreon and Anchor support. That would be really, really helpful, especially nowadays, because I'm running out of Bill's money. Because end of the year, I'm out, and I'm going to need the extra help there. But there's also that, but there's also the promo code. If you go to mailparadise.etsy.com, use the promo code GOMER10 for 10% off. I get a little bit of that back. And you get some keen masks. So, hey, it's win-win. And of course, if you're watching the video version or you just see the artwork or what have you, that is done by the very talented Becky Hopkins, who has a card, the beckyhop.card, CARRD.co. Go and check it out and maybe throw a commission her way. Just do be aware if you do commission her, might be slow because she is doing the whole vet tech school thing, and yeah, they keep her pretty busy. but she is still open for them, so keep an eye out for that. And her prices are reasonable, very reasonable. I say as I get free artwork from her by virtue of anyway. But no, seriously, go and do the things. And that should be about it. We will see you guys next time. And until then, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Scolipendra and Michelle, signing off.
Goodbye.
Later.